Hi. So index fund is a very good topic and it's trending right now, but many people still don't know what they are exactly. So if you already know what an index is, I'll suggest you skip to the part later on. You can see that on the time bar right now. You can skip to the next part. Right now, this is the index part where we're going to talk about what an index is. And then we will move on to what an index fund is. So basically, for any of you that's a beginner or an intermediate, you can keep watching this video. If you're a professional, you can skip this video. It's up to you. So what is an index? You would have heard of Sensex. That is an index. You have heard of Nifty 50. Okay, that's again an index. But what is an index? What does an index do? Now, talking about the basic definition, index basically just derives its value from something else. It does not have a value of its own. So let's take an example of Sensex itself. It has top 30 companies in India by market capitalization. Now again, let's talk about what is market capitalization. It means number of shares multiplied by the current market price of that share. That is the market capitalization or the market value. Simple as that. If you have to buy the entire company, you have to buy all the shares. That is the amount of money you have to pay. That is basically what is market capitalization. And it need not be always accurate. Okay, that's what valuations are for. So whichever companies are the top 30 companies with market capitalization in India, those 30 companies are in Sensex. Obviously, to be on the Sensex, there are many parameters, but this is the basic definition. Now, how does Sensex derive its value? You can see it's at 45,000 or 46,000 someday. It derives its value from the movement in share price of these 30 companies. And again, if company 1 moves by 5%, it increases by 5%, Sensex will not move by 5%. Okay, because one company has some weightage in the index but is not very strong. But yes, it is true that the number 1 company has the most weightage and the 30th company has the least weightage. And that is basically how it works. So the top companies affect the index movement more than those that are at the bottom. So that is how it works. Let's say all 30 companies have a market capitalization of 100, then it means all of them would have equal weightage. The weightage is decided by the market capitalization of the company. So basically, when movement of all these companies' share prices is observed and automatically calculated in a weighted average manner, that is the amount of movement Sensex gets. Okay, it is not this simple, but I'm just trying to make you understand that how the index basically moves. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So index moves because of the price movements in these companies' stocks. Okay, we have talked about index now. So this is the part about what is an index fund. Let's also discuss later on about why you should be investing in index fund over any mutual fund or any other fund. Okay, simple put, you should always invest in an index. Why? Because the index is rarely beaten by any fund. Many funds try, but most of them in the market fail to beat the returns of a market. What exactly is a market? It's basically termed as Sensex or Nifty. Simple as that. Right now, Sensex or Nifty is often referred to as the market. Okay. So if you look at American stock exchanges and if you look at S&P 500, that is again a market for US. That's a reference there. But for India, Sensex or Nifty or these kind of things are talked about as the market. Rarely is there a fund that beats the market. Rarely. There are many. But if you look at the total number of funds and compare that with the proportion of the funds that beat the market, that will be very low. Which means whenever you invest in a fund apart from an index, you will be having very low probability of beating the market. That's what it means. So why invest in index fund? First of all, if you look at the Sensex price right now, it's well over 45,000 or something like that. I don't track it, so I don't know, but the concept is very important. So that much money need not be there with everyone to readily invest every time. If I want to invest 1,000, I should be able to do that and still invest it in the index. But if the index itself is for 45,000, I can't even buy 1 unit. So this is where the index fund comes into play. The index fund basically just tracks the movement of the index, and basically that is what it does. It replicates that movement. Simple as that. So what I do is, if I'm a fund manager, I say to all people, fine, you don't have 45,000, you have 5,000 each. So just give me 5,000 each, and let's say these are 9 people. So I get 45,000 from 9 people. I buy 1 unit and hold it for them. That 45,000 grows, and whatever growth is obviously observed, 1/9 of that growth is obviously given to everyone, right? That is how a fund works. That is the same concept for a mutual fund, but it is actively managed, meaning a fund manager will actively buy stocks and sell stocks, okay, using its own brain. But in an index fund, it's basically just replicating the movement in the index. It is not doing anything extra. It is just following the index. That's all it's happening. So it is a passively managed fund. And that is why the fees that index fund companies charge, or the asset management company charges, is very low compared to a mutual fund. Mutual fund fees could range to be, above, even maybe to above 2% sometimes. 2% of what you invest, annual fees I'm talking about. And an index fund could be as low as 0.25%. So just carefully check, your returns are going to be heavily impacted even by 1 or 2% change. Secondly, your probability of making returns is higher because you're already investing in index, right? So essentially what you're doing with an index fund is just investing in the index, whichever index you choose. So if there's an index fund about Sensex, then you'll basically be investing in Sensex without actually having to pay that big of an amount. By just investing small amount, you can still stay invested in a Sensex. If you choose Nifty, again, a fund that tracks Nifty is what you'll have to choose, right? So this is how index funds work. And the reason they are not talked about much is because the companies that typically manage funds prefer mutual funds. Why? Simple. They have more fees and they earn more because of mutual funds, right? So they will definitely not show you, definitely not market index funds. You will not see that advertised on TV or anywhere else. So that is the main reason why index funds are so important. And if you look abroad, if you look outside India, people are already literate about index funds and they're already investing. So we need to understand that for anyone who is a dumb person when it comes to investing, if you want to make an investment blindly, kindly don't go for the fixed deposits, because again, it's a very bad and poor option. Go for investing in the index, because index will not fail you. Okay, there's risk, ups and downs, but in the long term, it will never fail you because FDs again are for long term. So that's basically about an index fund and what is an index. I hope you understood that. And here is a question that I got in a comment: how to invest in an index fund? So thank you, buddy, for first of all commenting. If you want to invest in an index fund, you can choose any broker. Okay, preferably you can choose a broker that does not charge any commission. These days you will find many of them. How to invest? Now there could be many apps. I personally use Grow, GROWW. Nothing great, not trying to get some marketing done for them. No, nothing sponsored. So Grow is an app. You can just try it out. You can invest through that. Now how to invest? If you want the statistics or the data, I don't have it. But personally what I try to do is I look at Sensex and I look at Nifty, and whenever it's down, let's say, because it keeps moving, right? It's up and down. The game keeps going on and on, right? Someday it's 1% positive, someday it's 1% negative. I preferably invest during the days when it has already fallen down. And that marginal 1% fall that has happened, investing after that gives me a small bit of increase in my investment. So it just helps me slightly push more towards getting more money, and that is what I try to do. So don't invest in an SIP or something, but whenever you think it's you're gonna get money and you want to invest it, immediately start keeping track of the market, and the moment you see that it has fallen by 1 or 2%, immediately invest in the fund. That is what I would like to tell you. So if you have, let's say, 5,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, or even if you're investing in dollars, I would say keep 20% of whatever amount you have left to invest for an index fund at least. And if you're very, very positive about investing in an index fund, then you can even invest up to 50%. So if you have, let's say, $1,000, invest $500 in not exactly at one time. Invest them over 2 to 3 periods of time. So invest them in different time frames where the index has already fallen, meaning the Sensex or Nifty or the S&P 500 or whatever the hell you're tracking has fallen. Just make sure you invest in the index fund that is related to that when it has fallen. Okay, so that you can just maximize your returns with it. That's pretty much it. There's no other way. It's not some rocket science, because the market keeps on moving. The benefit of this, of investing in an index fund, is that the index itself does not have any value. So if, let's say for example, Sensex has 30 companies, and let's say some company goes bad and goes off the Sensex, okay, then some other good performing company will come into the index. So the index will not have a very volatile change, whereas if you invest in those 30 companies separately, if one of them falls out of the index, or even if it loses value, you are going to lose money if you invest in them separately, because you are invested in their shares. Whereas in an index, the bad company just goes away and the good company comes back, so the index remains stable. And that is precisely why people don't understand that investing on their own is not at all a good cup of tea and not at all a good option, basically, if you're not a professional. So go for index funds. It's a very good option right now, wherever you are in the world. So that is basically about why you should invest in an index fund and how you can invest in. So thank you for watching. If you have any other requests, please leave them down in the comment section. And if there's something you did not understand about this video, do let me know. I will get back to you as soon as possible.